Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to my channel. Well, I should say on Yoshi's channel, but I am Pandora. Some of you may know me as Yoshi's wife, and this is my first live podcast, and I'm really nervous. So I'm going to be drinking some happy juice in my adult sippy cup here. And it's wine, by the way. I like to drink wine. So, how is everybody? Thank you for joining the stream. Again, I'm really nervous, so I'll probably stumble with my words a little bit, but here goes. So, I'm gonna introduce myself again. My name is Scarlet Pandora. That's gonna be the name of my soon-to-be released channel. Got some work to do on it, and eventually I will have a uh Snapchat going, Instagram, Facebook, and so forth. And let's see. So, the purpose of doing this podcast is to talk about things that I have opinions on, trends in society, um, just about anything and everything. I've got a lot of interest in movies, books. I like to, let's see, some of my hobbies. Thanks, gaming philosophy. Doing great. Don't worry about it. There are many times where I didn't get a word good on stream. All right. Well, I guess we're having some technical difficulties. Why not? It's my first stream. Anyways, so some of my interests are I love to go camping. I love to cook. I love to read, listen to music. I like going to art shows when I have time. I am a huge animal person. As you know, or some of you know, that we've got a couple of furry babies in our household. Currently at 2 dogs and 3 cats. We had 3 dogs. My little man Ranger passed away about exactly 2 weeks ago. So in a little bit, I'm going to do my final tribute to him and why he was such a special dog. And I do some gaming on occasion. I am an old school gamer. I grew up playing with Atari. Yeah, that's real old school. And I like Sims, Tetris, some PC games, some console games. So eventually, I'll probably do some gaming streams and see how bad I really suck at it. And I'm also the fabulous wife of Yoshi. Gotta have a certain personality to deal with him, but I love my husband, and a big shout out to him for all of his support. I know that he's busy, but I know that he's checking out the stream. So let's see. Sorry, I have a little pad here of notes because I am nervous, but got a few things we're gonna talk about, and with that, I'm gonna get right into my stream and talk about Ranger. So back in 2007, I had a good friend who had a little dog, and I got really used to being around her dog. So let me back up a little bit. I grew up with a lot of allergies when I was younger, and I spent most of my childhood and teen years getting allergy shots and being on a variety of allergy medication. And I was allergic to just about everything that lived, breathed, grew. All kinds of grass, trees, weeds, mold, mildew, you name it. And of course, dander. Now, this is the oily substance that is found on dogs and cats. So not only did I get my eyes all itchy and sneezing and whatnot, if I pet or a dog or a cat and I rubbed my arms, for example, or my face, I would break out in these hives, really itchy red hives. And I spent most of my early life taking care of rabbits because that was the only thing I wasn't allergic to. Um, as I got older, I outgrew a lot of my allergies, but I still have the allergic reaction to dander, which are the hives, and no pharmaceutical drug out there can take that away. It's just something that I'm going to have. So I will say that sometimes I get jealous when Yoshi picks up our cat or, picks up our dog and smooshes it and cuddles it and gets no reaction. If I did that, I would. But it doesn't stop me from being a pet owner. So, anyways, back to my story. So, in 2007, she wanted to get me a little dog, adopted for me as an early Christmas gift. So, we went up to this pet expo, and all of the rescues, their pets or their dogs were adopted out. And now that's great, that they got homes. We figured we'd hit the Humane Society or a shelter, but anyways, we decided to walk up and down the purebred aisles. And I came across this booth, and I couldn't even say the name. I've never even heard of this breed, but it was called a Schipperke. And a Schipperke in Flemish means little boatman. It's they were used on the barges to chase rats. They were basically rodent patrol dogs. And we started talking to the lady who was also the breeder and owner of her dogs, and explained to her why we're there. And she said, well, I'm actually trying to find a home for this little guy. And she picks up Ranger. And I mean, he was really shy and timid. And I was petting him, and, he started nudging my hand. And I said, okay, maybe this is a possibility. So I said, look, I will think about it, and I'll call her in the morning and let her know that if I want to, take Ranger or not. So that night, I swear to God, I had a dream that I already had Ranger and that we were playing and we were chasing each other and he was in my lap. And when I woke up that morning, I said, you know what? That has to be some sort of a sign for me to get Ranger. And I called the lady, and we made the arrangements, and that's how I got Ranger. And he was a very remarkable dog, very special, very unique, um, definitely very tenacious, stubborn in personality. Um, he loved to chew on certain things of my clothes, like bras and underwear, but he was truly a very special dog, and I'm so glad that I had him for so long. And the hardest part was not being the hardest part was not what took place at the vet. The hardest part was coming home and just not seeing him anymore, and seeing my other cat Sasha and my other dog Ellie miss him. That makes me sad, but at the same time, I know that Ranger is in a better place. He's happy, he's healthy, and you know what? I'm not saying goodbye to him because I know I'll see him again. So I'm dedicating my first stream to him because he was my little man. He was my support. He loved me no matter what. He was always there for me for bad days. He loved me unconditionally. And that's really what, having a pet is. And sure, a lot of people say, well, it's just the dog, it's just the cat, but when you develop that connection between a pet, they become a member of your family. And we should take, as humans, we should take that in stride and learn from that connection and love each other unconditionally and accept each other, because dogs, they don't know. They just love you no matter what. They, make us laugh. They come to us when we know we're not feeling good or we're upset. So, yeah, I always say that dog is God spelled backwards. And I am so thankful that even though I still have my issues with allergies, that I have these these members of my family, four-footed, sheds hair, always eating, you know, in my life. And I'm grateful for that. So, to Ranger, I'll see you again, little man. All right. So, um, God, I just lost track of what I was gonna say. But anyways, uh, thank you so much for coming on to the stream. Jackknife Finnegan, thanks for the like button. Let's see, what do we got going on here? Hey, Blue. Blue, are you there? Nope. Ranger Daniel Chibieski, Ranger will be at the Rainbow Bridge waiting for you. Absolutely. And you know what? Yesterday was the anniversary of my father's passing. I mean, you know what? I'll be honest, and I'm going to say shit. This month, June, has been probably the most suckiest month so far. I mean, with Ranger passing, it's also the anniversary of my father's passing, and and then Ranger's birthday is coming up, and I'm like, I can't wait for July, because I'll tell you why I can't wait for July. If you are a fan of Stranger Things, it's coming back, season 3 on Netflix on July the 4th. And after our 4th of July barbecue, and I've eaten all this food until I blow up, I'm going to be sitting there in front of the TV, binge watching all the episodes of Stranger Things. So I hope some of you are fans of Stranger Things. I know. And it's not so much a great cast and the writing is phenomenal. It's nostalgia for me because I grew up in the 80s and I've already watched the trailer many, many times, and I just can't wait because it's going to be like my life, seeing my life when I was living it in the 80s. The hair, the fashion, going to the mall, uh, going to the movie theaters, watching Ghostbusters, that was my life. So February is always a crap month for me. Got married in February and divorced in February. Ugh, Daniel, I am so sorry to read that. Um, you know, we all have our good months and our bad months. But yeah, so yesterday, like I said, was my dad's anniversary of his death. But I also know that, my little guy is with them and they're just hanging out and, doing things together, and they're watching over me. So July, Science Vanadium, sorry if I massacre that name. July has been a really horrible month for me too. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's summer, or it's just, you know what, we all have bad months. But June, I could say so far, except one good thing is gonna happen tomorrow, and that's gonna be the 1 year anniversary of our, I guess, Got You. Last year we took in two kitties, brother and sister. They were found inside of a car engine. I know that Yoshi has talked about them, but the brother's name is Boo Boo, and sister's name is Luna, short for lunatic. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be their 1 year anniversary that they've come into our lives and caused much chaos and destruction. But they have really been part of our family, and I think with Ranger's passing, they're kind of like filling in with Sasha and Ellie. I know Sasha really misses Ranger, and Ellie is also missing him, but the two cats, definitely fill in that void. So yeah, tomorrow's their anniversary. So back to Stranger Things. And why we watch a lot of shows on Netflix. I'm also a huge fan of Lucifer. So I was really excited that there was a new season on Lucifer, which cats doing cat things. That's for sure. Hey Wicked, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, so why do we binge watch on Netflix? I think because it gives us the ability just to watch all of the shows, all of the episodes at the same time, which could be a good thing or a bad thing because in traditional television, you got to wait each week for a new episode. If you're busy like I am, you DVR it and then you watch it when you can. But on Netflix, it gives you the ability to watch the very first episode until the last, but then that's it. You're done. And you got to wait for the next season. If you're lucky, if there is another season. But I definitely wasn't a fan at first of Netflix, but now I am. And there's a lot of different shows. There's even documentaries, movies, and, you know, yeah, we've got cable and, 5,000 channels. Can't find anything to watch. There's always going to be, something on Netflix to watch. So with that, I'm moving on to, like I said, July 4th, Stranger Things. I will be watching. So I spend a lot of time on social media, Facebook, Instagram, but mostly Facebook because I've got a lot of friends and family on there that I, you know, keep track of and communicate with, especially a lot of my family's in Europe. So Facebook is a way for us to touch base. And one of my friends, a very good friend of mine, put up this meme, which I am going to pull up. So give me a quick second. So she posted this meme. Hopefully you guys can see it. Where's the camera? Right there. Basically says, find yourself a Gomez. Woo her, admire her, make her feel like she's the most sublime creature on earth. So, oh, hold on here. I prefer binge watching if only because you don't have the missed an episode you were looking forward to and someone spoils it for you thing. Okay, Daniel. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. So, back to this meme. Now, I'm sure some of you have watched the original Addams Family and or the movies, which were beautifully, brilliantly done by Angelica Houston and Raul Julia. Um, as you know, Raul Julia passed away in 91. So I really can't see any other actor take over that part because there has been some talk in Hollywood about doing a reboot on the Addams Family. Anyway, so she posts this meme on her page, and a couple of her friends, including myself, liked it. And she said something like, well, judging by, all of my girlfriends that liked it, that means that, you don't have a whole lot of Gomez in your life. And, you know, I I had added that, Yoshi is a great partner, is, a partner that I would want in relationship. We are married, but sometimes, our lives get busy and we may not always find time to have that romance, and especially if you've been married for a really long time, it's hard to find time together with your significant other or your husband or your wife. And, is romance dead? So she had posted this, and I'm just going to read some of the comments because it actually made me, really upset. And of course, I'm going to keep it private, not mentioning names. Some of the male friends said that, you know, are you worthy, or you should be worthy to have that attention? Because really, what Gomez did to Morticia was give her so much attention. He admired her, he adored her, and really, it was a, a passionate love affair, to see Morticia and Gomez go at it during the show. The kisses on the arm, the speaking of French. Sure, we want that in our lives, but it's fiction. But why can't you have that in your lives? So, is romance dead in relationships? yes and no. So, when you're married and you've got kids, life gets away from you. You've got school's out, so you've got maybe soccer practice or you got dance lessons, you've got jobs. Now you gotta get home and start dinner, gotta take care of, laundry. And by the time you're done with that, you're too tired to do any kind of romance. You basically just hit the bed. Honey, love you, good night. Honey, I love you, good night. That's it. But honestly, just take 5 minutes of your time, whether it's 5 minutes in the morning or 5 minutes in the afternoon or 5 minutes in the evening, and just have a little romance. I mean, and I'm talking to those that are in a relationship, like a solid relationship, whether it's committed, marriage, or so forth. But when was the last time that you did something for your significant other? Could be a compliment, it could be making dinner, it could be maybe doing the grocery shopping, it could be simply saying, hey, just want to let you know I love you. Or if you're out in the public, hold their hands. Hold their hands when you're in the movie theater or you're driving in the car or you're walking. And who cares if your kids freak out and say, oh my God, mom, dad, please don't touch hands, public displays. Oh God, no. Who cares? When you get into a relationship, it's because there's something about that person that interested you, stimulated you. There was some chemistry, there was some kind of attraction, you had some interests. And yeah, after a long, long time, it gets a little stagnant. So a little bit of romance, a little bit of Gomez, a little bit of Morticia in your life, it's not going to do any harm. In fact, it may be really good. You may rediscover your love for each other. Now, there's a lot of reasons why, divorce happens, and sometimes a relationship dissolves because a death of a spouse, but you got to find ways to keep that relationship hot, even just warm. If it gets cold and there's nothing happening, then why are you in that relationship? And yes, I know there's kids involved, there's a house involved, there's assets involved. But, if you can fix what the problems are, fix it. So find some time for a little romance. Gaming philosophy. See some of the TV series and the movies, be that as Hollywood romance for you. The camera only sees what you want it to, where life is a roller coaster with both ups and downs. That's true. Family Adams is a fiction show, but in real life, yeah, there is a lot of roller coaster. There is a lot of give and take. And a lot of it is just, I don't have time. I don't have time. I got to do this. I got to do that. Well, you know what? Make some time. Lee and even if it's just, like I said, for 5 minutes, make some time. Sit together, watch a show together. Sit down, have some coffee, talk about what's going on. Just anything or everything. 5 minutes, some romance in your life. Yoshi and I, we are very busy people, and we may not have date night every week, but we try to have date night at least a few times a month. If not, I get cranky, I get crabby, and then I start sending him text messages like, you don't love me anymore. The dogs and the cats love me more. I'm kidding. Okay, not really, but I let him know, hey, Yoshi, pay attention to me. Me. And likewise, I let him know that, I care about him and that he is so important to me. So, I try to do little things to let him know that I love him, But yeah, relationships are hard, but romance is easy. Just got to find the time to do it. So, anyways, I'm by no means no expert in relationships, but what I see from my friends, what I hear from my friends, that just to be complimented or just adored, just to be cared for, just to let them know that they mean something goes a long way in relationships. So, yeah, let your wives, let your husbands know, let your significant others, girlfriends, boyfriends, so forth, let them know they mean something to you. Just a little bit of Gomez or Morticia, and you know what? Life will be good, hopefully. Anyways, so back to my channel. I'm still working on it and figuring out the layout. I hope you guys like the music. I have a wide range of music. It could be from classical to some old school hip hop rap like the Beastie Boys to dark retro industrial 9 Inch Nails Combi Christ. So let me know what you think of the music that I chose, and eventually this channel is going to be kind of a work in progress. I'm gonna, share my thoughts and opinions on certain things that I see wrong in society, topics of interest, and movies, books, shows, just about anything and everything, to relationships, maybe some cooking tips, how to save money when you're budget shopping, and I don't know. Like I said, this is my first time doing this stream. Nervous, but I'm gonna took a leap of faith to do this, and I want to get back into what I enjoy doing, which is also interviews. So in the near future, I'm going to be interviewing a couple of people, a couple of gamers, and I was a former journalist, so hence why doing this podcast, and book reviews, movie reviews, and like I said, you let me know what you would like this channel to talk about, or let me know what you want me to talk about, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to take a quick intermission, only because I'm really nervous and I gotta take a sip of something, and I will be right back. So thanks to everyone joining at this point. Hey, Empress Lily, thank you for joining. Passion, yes, passion. Not just also romance, but passion in that relationship. And thank you again for everyone who's joining, and I will be right back. Welcome back. Yes, I smoke. I needed to get some nicotine in me because yeah, I'm pretty nervous here. I'm pretty nervous. So I wanted to give out some shout outs and read a couple of the comments. Daniel, I think Gomez could be a metaphor for a pet dog who dances around you, adoring you, and waiting for any pat on the head with clean happiness. Or, a pat on my head from Yoshi. Um, I wouldn't say it's a metaphor, but no, it is hard when you are in a relationship and if you're, married, things get a little stagnant and it's important to find ways to, make time for each other, get that passion going, stroke the fires of passion. Like Empress Lily here said, passion. Yeah, we all need that, whether you're in a not so committed relationship, boyfriend girlfriend or girlfriend girlfriend, I don't care what your preference is, I really don't. But when you take that next step and you become married, it's because you realize this is the person you want to spend your life with. Now again, sometimes that always doesn't happen. Marriage is not a fairy tale. It's not like Cinderella or Snow White. It's a give or take type relationship. You gotta take time, make things work. Arguments happen, disagreements happen. But when you resolve those and at the end of the night you make up, you know, makeup sex is great. Gotta find ways to keep that passion, that reason why you got together with that person. So yeah, sure. I miss Ranger and I will miss him every day. And before anyone asks, at some point I will probably get another dog, and more likely it will probably be another Skipperkey because it is a fabulous breed. And this time we're gonna get a puppy because I didn't have that opportunity, that experience with Ranger. I got him when he was 4 years old. So I definitely want to see how a Skipperkey is as a puppy, but not now, when the time is right. And besides, I have Ellie, also known as Butt Nugget. She definitely takes a lot of my attention. I mean, this is my home life when I go to bed. We've got a queen size bed, and Yoshi's on one side and I'm on the other side, and there's Butt Nugget right in the middle between us. I mean, sometimes it's like we look like the letter H and she is stretched out between us. Or she curls up behind me and then Yoshi starts to, scooch on my side, and I have exactly 12 inches for my fat ass to sleep. But I wouldn't have any other way because it's comforting to have Ellie there, and she's a really good guard dog. But most of the time she's just a lovable dog, and Pitbull Lab mixes, they gotta be near their human. So I wouldn't say that it's a metaphor, but that's kind of a good one, Daniel. All right. So I got through all my topics that I want to talk about. At this point, I'm going to open up the channel to questions and answers, Q&A. So if anyone would like to ask me anything, any questions, now is your chance. Anybody? Anybody asking me questions? Nobody? Nobody wants to know Pandora? Oh, come on. There's got to be someone who wants to ask me a question. I'm going to start to cry. Nobody wants to ask me any questions? Nobody? Come on. This is your time. Ask me a question. Okay. So, anyone watching the Democratic debate? Oh, can you tell us about your journalism career? Good question, Daniel. Thank you so much. All right, because I don't want to talk about politics. So, let me put this out. So I have a Bachelor of Arts in English with a concentration in journalism. And I worked for a business automotive newspaper. They gave me a chance to interview a couple people. And I then went a little bit freelance and I would travel to different Comic Cons. And I had a chance to interview some celebrities. So I have been fortunate to interview actor Doug Jones, Ron Perlman, two of them from the Hellboy movies. Let's see what else. I also had the amazing opportunity to talk to Tiger Woods. Yes, that Tiger Woods, the golfer. And that was actually a very interesting story. And well, I'll give it a bit of that story. So back to the business automotive newspaper that I worked at. Um, at that time, Tiger Woods was starting out, and he was in his relationship with his uh now ex-wife, who I can't think of the name, but anyways, he was he was sponsored by Buick Automotive, so that was the angle right there. And someone I knew was able to get me into the Buick Automotive, which was held in at that time in Michigan. And so I went and I told all of my coworkers that I was going to go to the Buick Open and interview Tiger Woods. They all made fun of me. They thought that I was, making it up. But, anyways, I got to the Buick Open and unfortunately I couldn't bring my camera. Made my way to the communications tent. That was, of course, this is sponsored by Buick Automotive. And I had my credentials with me and they gave me a press pass. And so I kind of walked around, and I am not a very big sports person. Like, I will occasionally watch hockey on TV, gymnastics, swimming. Golf is definitely something that I don't watch on TV, but I will say being there in person, it's a whole different ball game. It is extremely exciting, very nerve-wracking because you've got to be quiet during a golf tournament. Hey, Black Sheep, thanks for the wave. So at that time, Tiger Woods wasn't doing too well in his career, and the number one pro golfer was Vijay Singh, and unfortunately Vijay had won that particular Buick Open. So back at the communications tent, they were going to do a press conference, and I told the person in charge, I want to go last because I have a very non-golf related questions, to ask Tiger Woods. So I got to the conference and I literally grabbed the microphone and I couldn't even get a word out. And all of a sudden they said, well, okay, thanks for coming to the press conference and have a great day. And that was it. And I said, shit, there goes my story. Well, what am I going to do? So I went up to the table of the Buick communication guys and they're like, what's wrong? So I told them what happened, and I shit you not, I swear to God, sometimes, life or divine intervention, but I kept hearing this voice in my head like, go outside, go outside. At one point, I even turned around to see if someone was standing behind me to tell me to go outside, and nobody was there. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to step outside of the tent, maybe just get some fresh air. So I walked outside the tent, and sure as shit, there's Tiger Woods, probably about 5 feet away from me, autographing some kid's hat. I said to myself, it's now or never. If you want this story, you're gonna have to go for it. So I went up to Tiger Woods and I said, excuse me. I introduced myself, my name, what paper I was working for, and I said, I would just like to interview about your involvement with Buick Automotive, because at the time, the commercials that were coming out was with the ghost of Harley Earl. And for those of you who don't know who Harley Earl is, he is the designer, basically the creator of Buick and the iconic body style of Buick Automotive. So I got my interview, 10 minutes of it, went back to the office on Monday morning, wrote up the interview, and it took literally 3 times for my editor to ask me, "You interviewed Tiger Woods?" And I said, "Yes, I did." And no one believed me, but I had the proof. I had the recorded interview. So that was probably my top interview, besides a few celebrities that I've talked to, and I am hoping to get back into it, travel to different Comic Cons, and we'll see how it goes from there. So you said Red Scarred, hey, thank you for joining the stream. You said earlier you love books. What's your favorite author? I love books. I hate these Kindle things. I rather have the feel of an actual made of paper. Yes, absolutely. I am not a fan of Kindle. Being an English major, let me tell you, we accumulate and collect a lot of books. I probably have about 30 some books in storage, all about different types of literature. And I just love books. I want to feel the pages between my fingers. I want to smell that book. Now, I'm not saying that Kindle or those other types of programs are bad. It's whatever's your preference. But for me, I like to have a real book. So my all-time favorite author is James Patterson. I'm a huge fan of the character Detective Cross, and also the Murder Women's Club. So I follow that series. Let's see what else. Anne Rice, Laurel K. Hamilton. God, I'm nervous, so I'm forgetting a lot of my favorite authors. But yeah, for me, my genre is anything supernatural, crime. I like Christopher Moore. He's pretty funny. It's more like it's a weird sense of humor. Um, and I don't know. For me, I pick up a book and I read the inside of it or the back cover, and if it's interesting enough, I will buy it. But I want to be able to visualize what I'm reading. So if I can do that, that to me is a very good storyteller, because it's not so much an author or writer, you're a storyteller. And if I could picture in my head what I'm reading, then that is someone that I may, want to read again. Yes. Gaming policy, yeah, absolutely. Laurel K. Hamilton, for sure. I hear you there. Red Scarred. My preference is paperback. Absolutely. I've got hardcover, soft cover. Stranger Things. What do you think will happen in the new season? Because holy shit. Yeah, holy shit. I don't know if you saw the latest trailer, but I'm excited. And it definitely looks like some big shit is coming down. And there's a mall, so they got jobs, they're entering into puberty, so I'm so jazzed. I just can't wait. I mean, who knows, maybe I'll live stream after I binge watch all of the episodes. I'm gonna be drinking some Red Bull, but I can't wait. Daniel Ozzy Man of Ozzy Man Reviews has been doing interviews of celebrities as well. I think Hollywood is finally taking YouTube channels seriously as a place for interviews. Absolutely, because why not? Social media is a ever evolving platform. Podcasts, interviews on screen, not just interviews in magazines, for example, like entertainment. And I wanted to mention this. So the other day ago, I have a subscription to Entertainment Magazine. So this issue, there's a cover of the current, well, I wouldn't say current cast, but the cast of Angel. I am a huge Buffy and Angel fan. I used to watch Buffy and Angel every single week with a bunch of friends, would get together and just watch the shows together. So, lo and behold, there is the actors, what they, present day on the cover of Entertainment. So I was just so excited. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Spike, Cordelia. Open up, read the story. That's great, I mean, it's another way of reading interviews, but definitely with the changing times, everything is now on social media. Everything is online. Newspapers. Yeah, I'm a former journalist, and I also wrote for, the university that I attended for their student paper. Things are changing for at least a couple of years now. Everything is moving online. Books, and so forth. Interviews. But I could understand the reasons behind making that transition. But again, I like the old school. I want to be able to feel that newspaper in my hand or that magazine. I want to be able to feel that book in my hand and to to feel the weight of it. And there are times that I will catch a couple of things online, the New York Times, for example, or CNN, for example, because it's there and it's convenient, quickly if I want to read about something. Demonic Angel, thank you for coming to the stream. I usually lurk on Yoshi streams, but talking about relationships, would you think it's okay to come out at a younger age? I am 17. You know what? If you have the support and you feel ready to do that, then come out. And I personally don't think that there even should be any kind of an age. It's more of a feeling. If you're ready to come out, then come out. And I hope you have the support behind you. And if you don't, you have my support, because I don't care if you're straight, gay, bi, trans, queer. I don't care what your religious preferences are. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care. You're a human being like me. So whatever your preference is sexually, whatever your preference is religiously or spiritually, whatever is your cultural, whatever is your ethnicity, honestly, I don't care, because if you cut me and I cut you, the color of our blood is red, and that's the same. All I do care is how you treat me is how I'm going to treat you. But I treat others the same way I want to be treated. Acceptance, tolerance, love one another, not hate. So if you don't have the support, Demonic Angel, then you've got my support. And if you are ready to come out in a relationship, go for it. And again, you've got my support. Do it, bro. Yoshi would agree. Love is love. Absolutely. Love is love. Love one another. Accept one another. Tolerate each other. I mean, this world is already fucked up as is. Excuse my language, but it really is. I mean, we are sliding back into the past. We have detention centers full of children who have been pulled away from their family, confused and scared, don't know what's going on. There are debates going on about vaccinations. There's, so much in this world for us to think about. We need love, and we need that acceptance of each other, because I'm afraid what's going to be happening. And as I was saying earlier, tonight is probably one of a few Democratic debates. This is boiling down to the actual candidate that will be chosen for the presidential So if you are, wanting to see a change in this country, by all means, tune in. I'm not going to turn this into a political, and I keep my political preferences private, but you can make some changes. Get out and vote. Tune in. If you're a Democrat, tune into the Republican debate just to see what the candidates are talking about, because get involved. Because we, the people, can make the changes. But anyways, I believe in the Quran, and I wanted to ask Yoshi, is that what you mean, demonic angel? The Quran, like Islam? If you can clarify that. Let's see, anything else that I miss? Any other questions? No? Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my happy juice. See, Darth Vader? Yes, it's another movie I'm waiting to come back. Oh my god, I can't wait. I am one of my favorite memories, because I have to share this, because as I stated earlier, yesterday was my dad's anniversary of his passing. So he took me to see all the Star Wars movie. And when Empire Strikes Back came out, which was, I think, 81, 82. Anyways, my mom was at a bookstore at a local mall where I grew up. And for those of you who don't know, I grew up in Detroit. So she was at this mall, and there was something going on Star Wars related. And I guess they had R2D2, strolling around, and some guy jumped out and said to my mom, may the force be with you. And my mom, totally clueless, like, what? Okay, peace be with you. Anyways, she gets home and she calls my dad and said, I don't know what's going on, but when you pick up your daughter, take her to the bookstore, because I think it's some kind of autograph session going on. So I get on the phone with my dad, and he's like, grab all of your books, Star Wars, whatever. I'm like, okay, Dad. So he picks me up, we go to the mall, and I remember just waiting in line for a couple of hours. And finally, I get up to the edge of the store, and I peek in, and holy shit, it's Darth Vader. Like, full costume, everything. Now, I was 12 at that time, and I know that it's a movie, it's fiction, but when you see Darth Vader in all of its dark, majestic glory, you're gonna freak out a little bit. Anyways, it was my turn to get up there, and I was shaking like a leaf, and I got his autograph and a couple of books, and ever since then I'm a lifelong fan of Star Wars, and I just can't wait for the next movie to come out. So yeah, just like Yoshi said, I don't care if you're purple. Love creates a bind that is so strong, even death can't break it. I understand the Quran, I respect it, but Ed Redscard said it. Love is love. Demonic angel, you know what? That is perfectly fine if you're a Muslim. I have several Muslim friends. Several of them are different ethnicities, and some are Bosnian, some are Lebanese, and I honestly, I don't care. I don't care what your religion preference is, if you're spiritual, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same path. So, I have taken a time to read the Quran, not entirely, and I think there's been a lot of misconceptions with the religion itself. I think if people took time to understand what Islam is about, I believe that their viewpoint will change, because nothing more than I hate is when people associate terrorists with Islam. There are extremists in any religion, So to say that that is a correlation between a religion and between someone who wants to hurt and kill another human being, no, that's completely wrong. Absolutely not. Yeah, Bosnia is Muslim. I have a couple of Bosnian friends who are Muslim, and they're fantastic. I love them to death. So, what was the thing that made you say, you know what, I'm doing a podcast? so, I'm gonna back up. I've been thinking about doing a podcast because, again, I love to talk. I'm definitely not a boring person at a party, and I miss the journalistic side of interviewing people. About 2 months ago, I left a job that, as much as I loved doing it and I was very passionate about, it came to a point that I was no longer happy doing it, and I had to make a decision to walk away. And I left, and I took a leap of faith. So I've been, watching Yoshi stream, doing some research about podcasts, trying to figure out what my voice is, what I want to talk about. And, I know today being my first podcast, I'm very nervous, but hopefully I'm doing a good job, and you guys will be interested in hearing another podcast. But yeah, I took a leap of faith because sometimes you got to do that in life. You got to find what is your passion? What are you excited about? And I took a look back at my employment history, my career, and realized that's what I was missing in my life. And I was also involved in independent filmmaking. That's also one of my interests, and I hope to get back into that as well. So, yeah, sometimes you got to take a leap of faith. When you realize that you're in a job just for the sake of paying bills, is that job truly making you happy? Is it truly making you fulfilled, satisfied? Sure, it's a job just to pay the bills, but I rather do something that's going to make me happy at the end of the day. It's going to give me that satisfaction that I've done a difference, that I'm able to help someone, and I'm fulfilled. So, yeah, start a podcast. All right. So, red scarred. Who cares? To be honest, we are people. Absolutely. Like I said, if you cut me, I bleed red. If I cut you, you bleed red. I don't care, what your preferences are. I don't care, what your thinking is. Again, religion, sexual preference. I don't care. You're a person. I'm a person. Uh, let's see. From Daniel. Are you a good poker player? I ask only because if you're nervous, I would only know it because you say so. You have a great talking candidates and are engaging. I hope Endeavor works out for you. Daniel, thank you so much. No, I suck at poker, and you could ask Yoshi. I would be the first that would lose all of my clothes if we were playing strip poker. I kid you not. Yoshi is a very good poker player. I'm not. Absolutely not. But I think when I say nervous, because I was rehearsing in my head what I want to say, and I think it's more like a comfort level. Like right now, I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable in talking and not tripping over or stumbling my words. So I used to do a lot of speeches when I was, as a university student. Part of that is a requirement in journalism to take a couple speech classes. And, it's a little bit of more natural, but to wing things off of the tip of your tongue or in your mind, that's a little nerve-wracking for me. So that's why I kind of have a list here, an outline of topics. But I think once I get more into the podcast, I will become more relaxed and more comfortable. in my environment to talk. So yeah, but thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that very, very much. Inspired Champion. Yo, hi everyone. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. Um Down below the link should be a link to my channel. Again, it's a work in progress, so definitely subscribe to me. Please give a like to this to the stream. I really appreciate it. So you're doing great. Thank you, Empress Lily. Empress for sure. Lily, one of my favorite names. I appreciate that very much. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Any more questions? Questions? Okay, I'm going to drink some happy juice. How about a question from my amazing husband? Yoshi, ask me a question. No? Someone's a fan of Zelda. Yoshi, I know you're lurking. Ask me a question. Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Great movie, by the way, Ferris Bueller. She can't play poker. She prefers blackjack. I play poker. How much money you looking to lose? Yes, that's true. Yoshi is an excellent poker player. I do like blackjack. And Uno. Are you streaming on Twitch? Yes. Eventually, I will be moving over to Twitch. Nothing against YouTube. YouTube is a great platform to start out as a content creator. But here's the problem. There are 20,000 other makeup artists out there and 20,000 other people that are going to show you how to roast a chicken, and 20,000 other people that are going to show you how to make candlesticks look fancy. So when you decide to become a content creator, you have to find your niche. You have to find what makes you unique, what makes you you. So while I have a big love for YouTube because it has helped the start of many, many careers for a lot of people, and not just gamers, I will be eventually streaming on Twitch. And again, I did state before, I will probably do some gaming. There are some games out there that I'm interested in. I'm not a big gamer. My brother was, or still is. Yoshi and young Ken is. So, but there are some things I do follow. So eventually I will game and probably suck really bad at it. And you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to have fun. Yes, there is a delay. Yes, there is a delay. 15 to 20 seconds delay. Okay, any more questions? This is supposed to be a Q&A. No one wants to ask me what's my favorite flavor of ice cream. Do I prefer baths to showers? What's my favorite food to eat? Anybody? Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna scroll through here since today I dedicated the beginning of the stream to Ranger. I don't know if you guys can see this. This was my very first photo that I took with Ranger. So when I came home with him, he literally jumped on one end of the couch and I sat on the other, and we kind of looked at each other like, what the fuck do we do now? And I'm sure I will be blowing up my Facebook with pics of the terrorist kitties, Luna and Boo Boo, because, you know, it is their anniversary tomorrow. So Yoshi is off playing poker. Hey, CB, thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. What are some of your hobbies and interests? Okay, so again, I will go through it. I am a huge camping person, and I hope at some point this year Yoshi and I can get away to go camping. I did a lot of camping growing up with my parents, so that's kind of in my blood. I am a tent person, and there is nothing like being out in nature, out in the wilderness. At night, you got your fire going in your fire pit, and you look up and you could see all of the stars. And, you know, I'm very fortunate to live in a beautiful state of Michigan. We have a lot of state parks, and all you got to do is go north, go up in the UP, and you are surrounded by nature and a lot of campgrounds. So hopefully, you know, we're able to get away at some point this year and do a little camping. I love to cook. I love to do a lot of Italian dishes, a lot of Indian dishes, and pretty much I'm the kind of person that could open up the fridge, see that I've got some chicken breast, some tomatoes, some spinach, and figure out how to make a meal out of it. And I'm also fortunate that Yoshi knows how to cook because I love to eat food. And yeah, so, you know, that's one of the great qualities of Yoshi. Now, picking up his socks and taking the garbage out is not so much, not one of his great qualities, but, you know, I guess all husbands are like that. I love to read. Whoop. I love to read. I love to listen to music at night. I love taking baths. When I have a chance, I like to go out to the movies, see a lot of action movies. So I'm a huge comic to live action movies, Avengers, Captain Marvel, you name it, I've seen it. I have a lot of action movies, DVDs. Yes, I have DVDs, and same thing watching similar shows on TV, supernatural, science fiction, so forth, or a good comedy show. Let's see what else. And reading, so art shows. I have a lot of friends who are artists, so when I get a chance, try to support them. You know, check out art exhibit. Or we're very fortunate when I have a chance to come down to Detroit, go down to a fabulous museum called the Detroit Institute of Arts. If you ever have a chance to visit Michigan, by all means, definitely check out the DIA. And, you know, animal advocacy. You know, I'm always trying to help out in some way that I can with animal rescues, or if I belong to a lot of different Facebook groups for animal rescue, so I try to do my part, whether it's donate some money or donate a bag of dog food or cat food, just anything I can help. Um, oh, you know, I'm pretty simple, basic person. You know, I have some unusual interests, but, you know, we'll leave that for another stream, okay? So, having grown up in the 80s, what are your opinions on nerd culture having become fashionable? Well, nerd culture having become fashionable these days. You know what? It could be a good thing because nerds are getting noticed, but then again, I mean, there shouldn't be something to make them get noticed in the first place. Like, it shouldn't be some kind of a trend, like all of a sudden, hey, it's cool to be a nerd, because it is cool to be a nerd. You know, there shouldn't be a reason in today's society for some nerd to all of a sudden get, noticed or be cool and everyone wants to hang out with the cool nerd person. You should do that anyways, nerds or geeks. I mean, we all have different interests, but you know, growing up in the 80s and my high school friends were pretty much, I will be honest, I hung out with more of the alternative crowd, the gothic punk rockers, than I did with the cheerleaders or the jocks. And I had a few nerdy friends because, again, I liked science fiction, so your typical high school football jock is not going to understand the themes of Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which, by the way, is my all-time favorite movie along with Star Wars. But Close Encounters of the Third Kind has a very special meaning to me. It's a movie that reminds me quite a bit of my dad, and even Blues Brothers. I love that movie. I mean, come on, going on a huge police chase with every single police car in Chicago chasing two guys. All they want to do is raise money for an orphanage. If you've never seen that movie, please, by all means, download it and watch it. But yeah, I mean, I think it's hilarious if that's the it thing to do is to be a nerd. I mean, nerds are cool regardless what year it is. That's my opinion. How long do you usually go camping for? What is your... So when we've gone camping in the past, we try to do a week. And last year it was everyone in my family, which was kind of crazy because you can definitely tell who's the big camping person and who really didn't like camping. But in the past, when I was camping with my parents or afterwards with just my mom and my brother, we usually did about a week, 5 days. Now, I know that there are some people, and I do belong to a couple of Facebook groups on camping. So I know that there are people who do it all summer long in campers and fifth wheels and RVs. And you know what? That's great for you. And maybe when I'm old and gray, I might get something like that. But for now, I'm a tent person and I go camping with a tent, cook over an open fire. But Yoshi will agree, I am not a rustic kind of girl. I gotta have my shower. I gotta have some running water. Maybe I'll rustic camp for like a day or two, but I gotta take a shower. Sorry, I'm a little girly girl, but my parents quite a bit did rustic camping. We would be out in the middle of nowhere, and just, I mean, I was small, so I have no recollection of, no memory of that, but my mom was like, okay, what about bears? But yeah, so we do a good week. I was very fortunate when I first met Yoshi to find out that he was a huge camping person. He was very enthusiastic about it. So when we went on our first camping trip, it was definitely a lot of fun. And last year we were able to go with our entire family, and we took Ranger and Ellie. So that was kind of like a nice grand adventure for them. So I don't know what you're laughing about, but yeah, I had many, many stories. I heard many, many stories from my mom and dad about camping when I was a kid, and I still have a lot of memories from that and a lot of pictures. Yes, because we didn't have cell phones back then, so we had to get the actual camera and take photos. So I have a lot of photo albums filled with some great memories of camping. And again, I hope at some point this year we're able to get away just even for a few days. I've got a couple of favorite spots to go up north and visit again. So okay, I'm gonna wrap this up really soon. Any more questions? The rustic part in the shower. Hey, come on. I mean, I could probably survive 2 days without a shower, but by the third day, I gotta have a shower. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, guys, I don't know how you do it. You go for like 2 days, 4 days, 6 days without a shower, and you look fine. If I go a few days without a shower, I look like something that crawled out of a cave. My hair has matted to my head, and I have taken on a oil slick appearance on my face, and I feel like all of my body hair has just tripled in length, and I just feel gross. So, yeah, sorry. I gotta take a shower at some point. I have never been camping, so I can't talk. What? What's wrong with you? Okay, CB, you gotta go camping at least once in your life. Just do it for like 2 days, like one night, 2 days. Just go out and do it. Again, there's a lot of Facebook groups that involve camping. There's a lot of people that are by themselves that are looking to join with others for camping. Just go, camp, have fun. I mean, worst case scenario, you leave and go find a hotel room. But no, seriously, camping is a lot of fun. It really is. It really is. Okay, so I'm gonna be wrapping up here real soon. Definitely drop me some comments. Let me know what you think about the stream, what I could have done better. I am definitely open for criticism. I want to hear your opinions. So please tell me what I could have done better, and definitely let me know what you want me to talk about for my next stream. Yeah, I'm gonna compile some new topics, different topics, and hopefully I'll have like a schedule of when I'm going to stream. I should have my channel up and running, and again, social media will eventually fall into place, like my own Facebook page and Instagram. While I do have that already, that is my personal aspect of my life. So if there is any more questions, please, now is the time to ask me. Flavor of ice cream, my favorite cocktail. Just just wash your pits and push your hair back. Well, I guess I could borrow, Yoshi's bandana and put that over my head. So, yeah, find a stream, But then, I'm a fan of zombies, so I would just get afraid to go and wash my armpits at some stream, and then like some zombie comes out of the water and grabs me, because that could happen. So very engaging, perhaps one topic well researched, well done all around. Oh, thank you very much, I appreciate it. Again, head over to my channel, subscribe, and definitely leave some comments. Thank you for everyone for joining the stream. I think I'm going to end it right here. So again, just to wrap up, dedicate the stream to Ranger, my little man. Mommy loves you. Mommy misses you. And get a little romance in your life, or some passion, or just, do something in your relationship just to let they're important to you. And it doesn't have to be fancy, you don't have to take them out to dinner and flowers. I mean, there are times for that, but just every day, try to find something, something small, do something small to show your significant other that they mean something to you, that they are worthy, because we all want to be loved. We all want to be cared for. We all want to be adored. So just, find something. And Stranger Things, July 4th, I will be binge watching. And finally, love one another, not hate, accept each other, tolerate, and just be human and find peace in your life, and most of all, be compassionate. Find something to do, if it's just donating some clothes or donating some food or just helping out at a soup kitchen. Find something that is charitable. Um, because one small act can lead to another act, and so forth. So, you've been watching too much Walking Dead. Hey, zombies, it can happen. You never know. So, with that, I'm Pandora, and thank you again for coming to my very first podcast. And y'all have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Oh, God. So.